I have a challenge for you today. I challenge anyone to tell me what substance Jared Kushner communicated in the 60-second video that I'm about to show you. I already mentioned earlier that Donald Trump's slumlord son-in-law, Jared Kushner, son of convicted felon Charles Kushner, showed up at the White House coronavirus press briefing last Thursday. And his presence was not only sinister, it was also dystopian. At one point, Jared Kushner went on this rant about how the stockpile is for us, it's not for the states. Blah, 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 blah. At another point, Jared Kushner spoke for 58 seconds in a screed laced with meaningless management buzzwords that I believe is record-setting. I believe that in the 60 seconds I'm going to play for you, Jared Kushner has set a record for the most meaningless buzzwords per minute without communicating anything of substance whatsoever. So let's look at it together. And what I suggest you do is really focus in, make an effort not to be lulled by the words that he's saying, and realize that he's speaking a lot, but he's saying zero. He's not saying anything here. The question to Jared was about, data being used to make decisions. When do you send ventilators and masks and supplies to states? Jared has famously said, New York is asking for more ventilators than they really need. States don't really need all the stuff they're asking for. And he's sort of addressing here how decisions are being made. I contend Jared says nothing of substance in his answer. Take a look here.
What the president asked is that all of the recommendations that we make be based on data. He wanted us to be very rigorous to make sure that we were studying the data, collecting data. A lot of things in this country were happening very quickly, and we wanted to make sure that we were trying to keep updating our models and making sure that we were making informed decisions and informed recommendations to him based on the data that we were able to collect and put together. The president wanted to make sure that we had the best people doing the best jobs and making sure that we had the right people focused on all of the things that needed to happen to make sure that we can deliver in these unusual times for the American people. The president also instructed me to make sure that I break down every barrier needed to make sure that the teams can succeed. This is an effort where the government is doing things that the government doesn't normally do. We're stretching, we're acting very quickly, and the president wants to make sure that the White House is fully behind the different people running the different lines of effort to make sure that we get everything done in a speed that the president demands.
We collect and look at data, we update models, we make decisions and make recommendations based on the data, we get the best people in the right jobs, we have people focused correctly, we want to deliver, teams must succeed, we are breaking down barriers. Donald Trump directed us to act quickly on this. Jared Kushner said nothing. And you know that Ivanka's sitting at home super impressed with this. Wow, look at that great job that Jared's doing. Mike Pence was standing nearby, looking pleased with that dumb smirk on his face because it sounded good. Like clearly this guy is more articulate than Donald Trump, and people were probably refreshed in a way that he wasn't struggling to get through a sentence like Donald Trump, but he said nothing. And this is called management in some circles. What Jared Kushner said there, not doing anything. I'm not talking about doing anything. Just saying stuff like that is called effective management in some circles. And so this is why we have a real problem. So my challenge remains, tell me what data and actions were actually communicated there by Jared Kushner. I'm hoping that we don't see Jared back at another one of these press conferences ever again. Today's program is sponsored in part by the Galaxy series, which is a series of 3 books written by a really great author, Ithal. And I would call the genre sort of political science fiction. I've really enjoyed the books. It looks at the future. It explores what could happen to planet Earth if we stay on our path environmentally. It deals with space travel. It takes a sort of deep dive into political psychology. And it's a really intriguing, sort of dystopian look at the future. The stories are told from a perspective that I think people in the audience would really appreciate. And there's a ton of really excellent artwork also that accompanies the books. I read a lot of books in this genre, and I'll tell you, these books are very well written. The plot, the characters are compelling. If you're someone who likes politics and sci-fi, you'll really like these books. Again, it's the Galaxy series. Check it out for yourself. You can find it at davidpakman.com/galaxy.